Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back after what feels like an eternity. Just for your information, we're not going to be building today, but I hope you're going to stick around anyways because we've got some other good things to talk about. Obviously, we'll recap the Gothic build and the project as a whole. We'll have a look at some of the old builds. We'll check out my stuff side by side, in pictures obviously, because I haven't got the last two around, obviously. We'll talk about the goodies, the loots from Breaking Bavaria. We'll talk about Breaking Bavaria in general, and perhaps talk about some future projects. Oh, and I've got the Blocks magazine. I think, yeah, the most recent issue should be like November issue or whatever, because Geneva, one of the people working on this magazine, occasionally reached out to me back in August regarding featuring one of my builds in the Rebelog Vin Week section, you know, contest of the month thing. So we'll have a look at that too, because it's the first time I'm featured in print, and I think we'll have a look at that. Hi Zigzag, you've been around like an active viewer here, so welcome back in. I hope you're gonna have a good time tonight. Oh, and did I mention it? We'll talk about future projects and things that I still want to do with the Gothic build, because I do think there is some value to be extracted from this build for you, for inspiration. I thought I would make, you know, sort of a how do I put it, like staples of the Gothic project type of techniques breakdown. You know, just give you some elements that I've used a lot, explain how they're done so that you can use them in your own builds if you wanted to. Good evening, Limbird. What's the yikes about? Let me know. As usual, I hope you have a drink with you, so that we'll have a good night. And what are we going to start with? Any preferences? While you're in chat, feel free to let me know. We can start with the little article. That's something we can cover pretty quickly. The loots from Breaking Bavaria and Breaking Bavaria recap itself is going to be a bit of a longer thing, but yeah, we can do that. And then, of course, if you want to know anything about the Gothic build, hi Vague, what's up? If you want to know anything about the Gothic build, please feel free to comment throughout the whole live stream, and you know, whatever I can answer, I will answer, and whatever requires a little further breakdown, I will consider putting in the Staples of the Gothic collab or Gothic project video, where I break down some of the techniques, you know, some of the arches that I use a lot, the windows that I've used throughout the past 3 years, and you know, that kind of stuff. First question from F. Buko. How many pieces did it end up being? Obviously, I haven't counted while building, so I cannot tell you an exact number, but considering it is 4 times the size of the first one, and the first one was about 4,500 pieces, I would say this is probably close to 20,000. Because, you know, it's vertically taller, it is requires more supports on the inside, so I reckon we're well within the 5 digits, at the very least. It was on the Brick Wall video first place for the best mocks of the week. I did see that. Mark linked it in the workshop Discord server. And in general, the reception of this model is insane. It's been in a Brick Wall... what was the name? Come on, brain lag. Brothers Brick article. It's been blogged on a Portuguese Lego blog. It's been on Brick Vault, and God knows where else, but the reception has just been crazy, so yeah, very, very happy with that. Hi Jasterbrick, hi Jan, welcome in, hope you're having a good time, and gonna enjoy the stream here tonight. Did you wait in the end? I remember you saying you was going to... I'll do that. I won't be doing it on stream because the scale is God knows where, but I'll do that. I have not waited yet, but it's heavy. I'll have a number for you in the next video, in the next live stream, whatever. So yeah, but I'll note that actually. Let me just get the phone out and we'll write that down. How did you plan your build? Did you use sketches or build as it went? If you've seen the videos, it was mostly just, you know, whatever I felt like building, trying that out, and if it didn't work out, changing it. I did take inspiration from primarily the Cathedral of Clermont-Ferrand, but outside of that, it was all just free-handed. So, yeah. Let me quickly put that note down. Reminder to self, weigh the Gothic build. Right. I'll have an answer for you in the next video, in the next live stream, like I said. All right. Yeah, while Jan is in chat, whoops, let's go over the little bits and bobs that I got from Bricking Bavaria, starting with the stuff that I got from the new Hashima folks. Let me get that focus in for you, right there. Jan gifted me a torso, printed new Hashima torso, and I've got one of the printed new Hashima bricks as well, as a nice reminder for this absolutely bonkers layout at Bricking Bavaria. By the way, just some facts about Bricking Bavaria. We had almost 10,000 visitors, and we were, I think, close to 500 exhibitors. So in total, that weekend, there was probably around 10,000 people at the venue, which is, all things considered, insane. So yeah, crazy stuff. Obviously, the Bricking Bavaria brick. And I did get a printed brick unexpectedly from the Bricks Lab Awards. I'm not actually sure what the hell this means. I wasn't around when that was put on the build, but I got it. And thanks to, I think, Alex, Dogma54, the username, for putting that on the bill. I appreciate it. Are you now tempted to carry on building beyond the facade, or are you wanting to move on already to another project? The latter. I've spent the past 3 months of my life almost exclusively on this build, so I don't want to say tired of it, but I'm happy to be done and able to move on to new projects, because while I am fairly patient, especially with big builds like this, where I have, you know, some kind of goal that I want to reach in terms of size, in terms of detail, which in this case was just outdoing myself, or rather outdoing my build that I did last year for the Gothic collaboration. And I achieved that. So I'm fine, I've reached my goal, and I'm happy to move on now. But it's going to be around for a while, and yeah, because taking it apart will be a tremendous effort, once again. And I could use a little break, even though it's already like we're halfway through November, and I feel like I've just come back from Bricking Bavaria this weekend. It's, yeah, a lot of time has passed since I took this bugger to Bricking Bavaria, and yeah, it's still gonna take a while until I take it apart. In any case, so yeah, I will be taking it apart and move on to new projects. I'm happy with the results so far. Yes, some things could have been done better, but all things considered, I consider this project complete. Hello, Dark Lancaster. Zigzag sent the video where you showed the mock to a friend of mine who has nothing to do with LEGO, and she thought it was amazing too. I appreciate that. I'm glad to hear. I think she also enjoys drawing Gothic stuff quite a lot. I'm always up for some Gothic stuff. You know, if she likes drawing Gothic stuff, send her my regards. That is good shit. It's a very nice style, I think. Mal says, probs around 15 to 20 kilos. I would actually think it might be that much. It might be more. I'm really not sure, but I'll have an answer for you in, like I said, in the near future in a video or live stream. And hello, by the way. I also saw you in the Max Bard vlog. Yes, in fact, I did not know who that was. He just happened to be at my build when I was taking some pictures at Bricking Bavaria, and he came around with a camera with his friend, and they were apparently doing some sort of podcast or something, or a vlog or whatever, and yeah, I talked to them and I didn't know who they were, and then I sat down that evening and I did some research, and apparently it was Max Bard, which is a German YouTube channel. Not sure if anyone outside of Germany is familiar, but yeah, I'm not subscribed to them or anything. I've heard their name float around a couple of times, probably been recommended some of their videos. But yeah, that was a little surprise at Bricking Bavaria, that showing up in the Max Bard vlog, like you said. I've also appeared in the a Bavarian TV report about Bricking Bavaria. Made a little background appearance working on the new Hashima layout. So that was pretty fun. And obviously the family, grandma was happy, you know, grandsons and on. Yeah, can you consider it state TV? In any case, but you know, that was fun. Will you make mini MOCs similar to this, almost like minifig habitats? I did consider making, you know, sort of like a condensed, not really a micro version, but like a slice of this, or just a slice of a Gothic environment, like a little 12 by 12, and put up instructions for that, just as a little, almost like a little trophy build that you can build for yourself, as a, well, kind of token, reminder, whatever, of the Gothic project. So, yeah. But so far, nothing happened in that direction, so we'll see how it goes. But to answer your question more concisely, I am not planning in the foreseeable future to make minifig habitats in this particular style. Glad you like the tour, sending you Hashima Break. Small appreciation for all of your help during setup. Most welcome, Jan. Most welcome. It was good fun, honestly. In general, I've met so many people at Bricking Bavaria that I've only known for, you know, some just for a couple of months, others for years. Only from Discord, from YouTube back in the day. And it was insane seeing all of those people in person and talking to them. So it was massive fun. He's a German leaker, yeah. Okay, I see. Do you have a plan for your next smoke? I do not have a plan for my next smoke, but I do have plans for things that I would like to do in the future. In terms of content, particularly, I think is the best way to word it. So I do have some more videos planned, or well, one video at least planned, about this build. And I'm probably going to take it apart off stream. I'm not going to stream the sorting, the taking apart. I think that's just gonna, you know, the live stream's going to be a distraction, and I want to get through that as quickly as possible. And then we'll see. We'll certainly, I do plan to carry on the one weekend video, the other weekend live stream routine that we've started with this Gothic project. I like that. It's worked out pretty well for me. So yeah, and we'll do some stuff on the live stream, you know, just building some random things, live stream shenanigans, whatever. I've got some leftovers that I didn't use on the Gothic build. Like if you were in the Discord, we have a I posted some stuff on the work in progress channel there, and there was one section, you can't quite see it. Oh, actually, let me put the focus back for you. I still had it in the front here from showing the little Bricking Bavaria goodies. In any case, I've got a little tower section that I didn't use in the build, and I thought I would maybe mess around with that a bit on the live stream. Sorry. And yeah, see where that takes us. Oh my god, you worked on that? I assume you are referring to Nuhashima. Yes, I did. Another little goodie from Nuhashima, from Bricking Bavaria was, of course, the Nuhashima jersey, which has been fun hanging around in at the con. I spent like most of Saturday just around Nuhashima talking to people, explaining stuff to visitors, which was very fun but very exhausting. And something that I was surprised by is those shirts. They take ages to dry. I was expecting like a classic sports jersey, you know, that's dry pretty quickly, wicks sweat pretty quickly. But you know, it kept the smell. To be honest, it kept the smell. So I washed it every day in the when I was under the shower, taking a shower in the morning. I washed that thing, and then the next day, it still wasn't dry. That was a Sunday morning, and Monday when I was leaving, it was still wet. So yeah, that was a bummer. Well, a lot of words to make a simple point. The thing didn't dry as quickly as I thought, so I didn't wear it as much as I thought I would. In any case, would you like to make a cyberpunk dense style building like Nuhashima? I still have my Nuhashima cube to post, so that might fill that niche. And cyberpunk is a style that I tackle occasionally. If you take a look at my Flickr, there's some futuristic cyberpunk-ish scenes. Not super, you know, like neon cyberpunk, but more of the gritty cyberpunk. More, yeah, well, I reckon it's more futuristic than cyberpunk. So yeah, there's that. And I don't do a whole lot more than that, to be honest. It's a style that I like to dabble in occasionally, but it's not one that I feel a calling to, the way I like building Gothic stuff, for example. But yeah. All right, let's move on. I'm gonna take another sip, and I think we're gonna move on to the Bricking Bavaria loot, because of course they did have a sales booth there again, and of course, like every good AFO, I had to spend some money there. So I restrained myself, and I only spent 24 bucks on some pieces that I did not have. Well, that's a lie. I do have olive stems, and I did buy some more, because they all cost me six bucks. All of these bags, I got 4 of them. They cost me 6 bucks each. And I did take a look at Bricklink average prices for all of the parts except for these new leaf pieces, because I later on did some research and found out that they're pretty expensive on online Pick-a-Brick. I haven't checked Bricklink, but I got them for a pretty decent deal compared to Pick-a-Brick. And that's just a part that I thought, I'm probably not going to buy that otherwise, so might as well pick some up here for, you know, just 6 bucks. Then I got some olive stems for below Bricklink average prices, and some dark brown old stems for pretty much the going rate on Bricklink. And then last but not least, some dark brown 3x4 limb elements, or whatever they're called, on the online marketplaces. And then of course, Nuhashima did a parts draft, and I got some parts from that, which actually we might sort in a second. I'll put that to the side. We'll sort those. I'll put the longer lens on, and we'll sort those. Have a look at the parts, and then we've got some poly bags on the April's evening. Little Christmas train and some dots that I was able to pick up. Oh, and another little goodie that I didn't showcase yet was this little. I was told it's supposed to be a butterfly from Brick Monkey, who I've had the pleasure to hang out with as well. And oh yeah, and a frog from JakobKaiserMOCs. Let's take a closer look at this. Custom printed piece at the front there, the cheese slope. And just a little, you know, robot frog. Oops. There you go. Some nice parts. I might part this out because it's got good parts. So why not? But yeah, I think that's it. The little trophy was from Brixlab as well that I mentioned earlier. Yeah. Alright. Feel free to keep chatting. I will just quickly... Oops. Swap the lens. Watch out, if you're watching in a dark room, you may want to turn on the lights because this is going to be a flashbang. 3, 2, 1. And come on. We're back. Put that aperture back down. Get the focus settled in. There we go. And let's put that down there. And actually, before we sort, would you consider doing some tutorials for doing Gothic style builds? Glad you asked. I don't know if you were around at the beginning of the stream. I did mention that I plan to do a video breaking down some of the most used techniques from my past 3 Gothic builds. So from arches to windows to walls to rocks, all that good stuff, I'm going to break down in a future video. So feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, that's going to be covered. And while we've got the camera down here, actually, let's take a look at the... Get that focus tuned in. At the Blocks magazine. Because one of my builds was featured in there. In the Contest of the Month section. Right, there's your boy. With the I Am Your Father build for the Rebelog Vinwi 2024 category a long time ago in a country far, far away, where the prompt was to reinterpret a Star Wars scene. Come on. In a distant historical context. Right there, and we've got some beautiful other builds from Clockwork Bricks, from Busker, good friend of mine. Oh, I don't know if I can call him friend, but I've been in touch with him for a long time, and he's a good fella. And obviously, Joe's beautiful Olympus build. It's a bit of a pain showing stuff like this on camera, but yeah, I hope you get the idea. Feel free to check out if you have the Blocks magazine subscription, or if you find them in stores somewhere, if they're available in stores, I don't even know. But feel free to take a look at that. It's good shit. Alright. Here's another slightly closer look at the loots. Actually, I have to put them up here. Get the focus tuned for you. And yeah, let's sort the parts draft stuff. There is some other stuff in here that was from the April evening where they had a little build event. Lots of crazy wedge plates and shit. So those are not part of the parts draft. I'll just sort those out real quick. That shit wasn't part of it. Hope the noise isn't too annoying. Let me know if it is, I can tune it down. Oh, and I got one of the silver bats from Yona, aka Silmeril1, from his iron builder round against God knows who, where they had to use that silver bat. And he had 100 of those laying around, and gifted some to people at Breaking Bavaria. Alright, let's have a look at the parts draft shit. I think the jumper was also part of the Eightfolds event, so we'll sort those out. There's another one. Yeah. I think this is all the good stuff. Let me try to get a better angle for you right there. I think that should work. Alright. Speaking of parts, while we're at it, and while I'm going to sort this stuff, feel free to let me know what kind of recent parts. I don't know if you even follow it, but you know, LEGO always comes out with new parts. And I just today found out that they're now making a 1x3 Technic brick with 3 Technic pinholes, which was quite a surprise to me. I did not expect to see that. But I was just browsing New Elementary, which, in case you are not already familiar, is a recognize Lego Fan Media, I think. So like a blog, basically, that posts new elements, set reviews, new parts on Pick-a-Brick, and all that good stuff. And that's my go-to place to find out about new pieces and about their connections. And that's where I found that there's a 1x3 Technic brick now. Alright. And speaking of new parts, we parted out the Speed Champions AMG G-Wagon and what's it, S63. We got a couple of those that we parted out, and we've also had, I think, 2 other Speed Champions. So there was a lot of good stuff. Let me just get some tweezers, because there are some pieces stuck down in here. So yeah, we parted out a couple of Speed Champion sets, and I've got some of the parts that I don't have yet, or some parts that I think I could definitely use in the future. I'm possibly hinting at some other projects. You see that I got a lot of black. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna spoil anymore, but there's some parts in here for next year's collaboration or community project, whatever you want to call it. I found the quarter circle curved slope on Studio the other day. Didn't know that was a thing. Quarter circle curves. Oh yeah, I think I know which one you mean. I think that came out with the James Bond Speed Champions thing, which I did buy because it was it's actually the only Speed Champion set I bought. But that was just a good one. I had some VIP points laying around from the Black Friday redemption discount, and I had to spend them, so I got the DB5. And they were used on the headlight corners at the front of the car in that particular set. And I did use them in the micro build, actually. If Ulrico is in chat, they might remember, because they're the micro guy in the workshop Discord server. Do a lot of micro scale builds, and we talked a lot about my little whatever it was when I built that. Alright, these pieces, I didn't know they existed. That's one that was pretty new to me. It's like a 3x3 with a 2x2 cutout. And I thought, you know, it's medium nougat. Not a color that I use too often, but if it's inside of some model, that might be, you know, trivial. Not really important. And, you know, just structurally, this seems like a pretty useful piece, actually. So I got me some of those. And in case you don't know how parts draft works in general, basically you part out sets, you divide them up into the lots. So every, you know, set of parts, every individual part is put on one pile, and then you take turns pulling whatever lot that you like. And we were like 25 people, everybody got a number, and then someone went around calling out the numbers, going up and down, and whenever your number was called out, you could go around the table and pick yourself any of the lots that were left that you thought you could use. So I got myself, like I said, a bunch of parts that I think I could use, or that I didn't have yet and that I wanted to mess around with. And we'll have a closer look at them all once I've sorted all of this stuff. Oh, there's another window lattice. You got me some of these black 45-degree bar stands. They might be, well, they are quite handy. I've got a couple of them in light bluish grey, I think, and a bunch more in trans clear. And I don't know if you can see it. Here you can. I got myself a shit ton of 1x1 clips, because that's one that actually I use way more than I think I do. It's one of those pieces that, you know, I use to you know, on the back here you can see the entire wall. I think if we take all of those bricks off, all of the bars and flex tubes are attached with those 1x1 clip plates. And I used a surprising amount of them just on this wall. So yeah, that's a piece that I can use a lot of. So I got myself some of those too. Some 1x2 curved slabs. There should be one more, I think. Maybe not. I guess not. Doesn't look like it. There's another bracket. Another one of those stems. Got myself some black 1x1 quarter tiles too. Some tooth pieces. Some stadium tiles as well. Just the little ones. Oops. Are we getting tired in chat? It's pretty quiet over there. Right. Some more of those 45-degree stands. Some bar holders, more quarters. Right, I think we're done here now. Not a second, but in the foreseeable future, so bear with me, folks. We're almost there. I do not have a pile for those yet, okay. Right. There we go. That's quarters, that's a dome, that's stadium, stadium, quarter, quarter, stadium, stadium, quarter. All of those are quarters. And one more stadium tile right there. Lovely. Okay. Let's move all of that stuff in here. Can you tell us about your storage system in the future as well? I can do that. I can do that. If you want to just catch a glimpse at the back there, that's how the whole thing goes. And I've got a shit ton under the table as well, unsorted stuff. But most of it is in drawers, and I can give you a closer look at those in the future, if you so wish. Alright, let's start in the back corner here. We've got some 1x5 plates in light bluish grey of all colours. Very convenient. The colour that probably the colour that I use the most, whether I like it or not. Bit of dust on it. Acromills mainly, well, the whatever European equivalent, but I think in the US acromills is the most common. So yeah. Is Lego your hobby apart of normal job, or are you making a living from Lego? So and so, I reckon. I do make money with graphic design, in which I also make custom Lego minifigures, which make up a decent portion of my income at this point. So you could say I make money with Lego, but the whole mock building part of it is definitely more of a hobby thing. I spend, well, copious amounts of money on that shit. Got some 1x2 plates with clip. Nothing too special there. Some bar holders. Some of those 1x1 tooth plates. I mentioned earlier the shit ton of clips. 1x1x2 downward brackets in black. Don't think I have any in black of those yet, so that's convenient. Quarter tiles, stadium tiles. Got some of the Among Us tiles, plates. 1x1 half round with bar attachment point, or well, clip attachment point is the bar really. Would it be worth making money from mocks and rebrickable? I do that, but it's hardly worth my time. Like, the sales are scarce, to say the least. Hello there, Boba Bricks, welcome in. Continuing with the little... Let me get you a closer look at those. You're probably familiar with all of those parts, but anyways. The little 1x1 angled stands. We've got some 2x2 slopes. God knows what that angle is. 20 degrees, 15 degrees, whatever. You know the part. We've got some 1x2 curved slopes. Yes, this is parts draft stuff from Brick in Bavaria. 1x4 curved slope stuff. And then another fairly recent piece, the 1x4 round plate with holes, or well, rather open studs on the ends. Got a couple of those. Another piece that I don't have any of yet, I think. The 2x3 plate with 1x1 cutout. Also just a piece that I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I thought it was better to have them than to need them. So, yeah. And I think, oh yeah, we've got a couple more. I've got some of those, what do you call them? Rims, I think. Just I thought it would be a nice decorative piece, so whatever I'm going to do with it, we'll figure out. The 3x3 with cutout that I mentioned earlier. And then, this was the only piece and the first piece that I picked. The only piece that I wanted and the first piece that I picked. The other ones were like, that was a bonus, really. Was the tea saucer in pearl dark grey. Because, and I'm going to be able to show you right away. Actually, I'm not going to be able to show you because, oh, I can. I'm just going to have to grab a lantern from the build, remove the LED from it. This is the lantern setup that I use in, I'll get to your comment in a second, Brick Reporter. This is the lantern design that I use for all my Gothic stuff. Just a lantern, a white 1x1 brick, and a 1x1 round in the bottom. And then the LED just goes in there and is held in place by the 1x1 round. But, if you can't tell, the 1x1 round doesn't sit particularly flush with the bottom of the lantern piece. However, the tea saucer does. So that's kind of the reason I wanted this part. It's a very, very nice finish all around the lantern. So I was very happy to get some of those, because otherwise I would have needed to buy them, and I don't know if I would have actually bought them. Because, you know, it's just a piece that is, I'm probably going to forget about. So yeah, we've got some window frames and some of the lattice inserts, and that was the new Hashima parts draft. Right, back to your comment, Brick Reporter. Some Gothic MOCs from you in size 2,000 to 4,000 pieces might be popular and rebrickable. I checked the instructions you published, and they are mainly for very small builds. Yes, you're correct. The reason I mainly do small builds, like the most parts of a model that I sell on Rebrickable is, I think, about, what is it, 1085? The Mandalorian throne room diorama. The reason I don't do big MOCs on Rebrickable, or rather, let me reword that. The reason I don't do instructions for MOCs larger than 1,000 pieces is because making instructions to the quality standard that I have on, you know, my instructions so far is extremely time consuming. And even thinking in larger models and how they might sell on Rebrickable, it's still not worth my time. So I'd rather spend that time building new stuff, because that's what I enjoy, than recreating stuff that I've already built digitally, if that makes sense. Jan says, interesting, why don't you use trans clear parts with light? Because the solid white pieces diffuse the LEDs, whereas trans clear parts make for a pretty harsh light, because the light source is basically exposed. Whereas when you use the white parts, it gets diffused, it's a very soft light, and it also, because the white plastic that Lego uses is slightly yellowish, it also adds a very, well, not very, but it adds a warm tint to the light. So it's a very soft, very warm light. And if you take a look at my flicker, every lantern that I used so far in past Gothic builds, and also in some other builds, has used an LED behind or inside of white pieces. So you can check out the look there. What set is this, or did you do a different kind of draft? This is multiple sets. We had some of the Speed Champions G-Wagons and S63, like the AMG 2-pack. Hello, Mikey. We had the Lamborghini, the prototype thing, the olive Speed Champions car, whatever. Don't know the name of it, to be honest. And we had one more Speed Champions, and we had multiples of each. So yeah, this is pieces from, you know, all those 3 sets. Hello, hello, is this the famous Niwashima parts draft loot? Yes, it is, Mikey. It is. Many thanks for good explanation. Well, you're most welcome. You're most welcome. I do plan to make some smaller stuff that people can actually build for themselves in the future, but you know, it's not going to be Gothic level stuff. It's going to be closer to Lego sets, closer to my Mandalore diorama, both in size and in piece count, because that's something that is doable, that's enjoyable, that doesn't take too much time, and that is more than, you know, just small vehicles. And I say just because, you know, vehicles are a nice thing to make instructions for, because I do actually build a lot of that digitally to try out techniques with parts that I don't have. And then if that works out, I buy the parts and I continue prototyping with the real parts. So, you know, that kind of goes hand in hand physically and digitally, so it's way less of a time investment to make instructions for vehicle models. But yeah, we'll see where that goes in the future. All right. I think I'm not going to part out the little thing from the build event. That's just grey wedge plates, and that's basically it. So not much to be found there. So yeah, let me put that stuff back. Yeah, I'm actually just going to dump it back into the bag, because I'll sort it once I sorted the whole Gothic build, because I might have to reorganize a considerable portion of my storage to accommodate parts that I bought specifically for this build that might not fit in the drawers that those parts were stored in before. So for example, 1x1 plates, I bought like probably another drawer for just for this build. So I'm definitely going to have to put those in a different place once I've disassembled the Gothic stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, it's probably better off waiting until that is done before I sort in new parts. Wait, isn't that a Star Destroyer that were forbidden to build? I was actually starting... Well, the original idea was to make you know, I saw some... Alright, I saw some dark red pieces, and I thought I might try to build a Consular class frigate from the opening of Star Wars Episode 1. And I did this portion, right, which is, you know, somewhat reminiscent of that frigate design. And then I ended up, yeah, with something more Aquitans looking. Which, yeah, you know, I wasn't really competing at that point, so I just built whatever happened to be able to put together with those limited pieces. Never noticed that you use white bricks for your lights. It looks really nice indeed. Definitely will give it a try next time. Definitely do that, Jan. Let me know how it goes. I think the effect is very nice, and more people should do it, to be honest. Mikael, finally I catch one of these streams live. Great build, bro. Very inspiring. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you can make it. I think we're going to switch lenses again, so prepare for the flashbang, people. 3, 2, 1. And there we go. Let's put that lens back there again. Rearrange that focus. Alright. Hello Last Clone Studios. Welcome in, welcome in. Are you taking the mark apart? Not yet, not yet. It's going to be around for probably another couple of weeks before I take it apart. I'm probably going to take it apart after Christmas, to be honest. Maybe before though, because it does take a lot of my, you know, a lot of my collection is in that build, and I might want to build some other stuff. So I might have to take it apart sooner than I'd like. But yeah, we're not taking it apart yet. And I would love to see a video on mock terrain rock techniques. I do have a video breaking down some Gothic building techniques that I've used in the past 3 years. Yeah, that's in the pipeline, so stay tuned for that. We're going to go over some rock work. We're going to go over this wall technique that I've used in the first and the third Gothic build. And I'm going to go over arches. I'm going to go over, well, trees are pretty obvious. But yeah, we're going to break down some techniques from my Gothic builds. So if you have any particular techniques that you would like to know about, let me know. Let me know. Hi Ori, we were just talking about you just a minute ago about some of your micro stuff, and a piece. We were discussing new pieces, and we got around to the 1x1 quarter slope from the DB5 headlights, and that reminded me of the small micro cathedral that I built back in the day. I don't know if you remember, but yeah, welcome in, welcome in. My eyes have Abby. Not sure I follow. We had the 2023 McLaren Formula 1 race car. That was it, yep. The Mercedes AMG pack. Lamborghini Vision GT. Oh, and we did have the Ford Mustang as well. Okay, so we had 1, 2, 3, 4 speed champions for the draft. Good to know, good to know. Good memory, man. You gotta teach us how to do that rock work, dude. I'll put it in the breakdown video. I'll write it down. Dang, I'll have to look for that video. Yep, yep. I'm hoping to have it posted. Let me just look at the calendar. Maybe next weekend? I might be able to arrange that. Might not be able to. Keep an eye on the community tab on my YouTube channel. Yeah, I'll probably announce it there. Or in my Discord server. I was at my first con this year and I'm going to my next in February. Could you explain what a brick badge is? I can. Let me get out some stuff. I do not have a brick badge myself, so yeah, I don't know. It's just not my style. But essentially, this with another brick with your name on it would be a brick badge. It's basically just like a name tag that you put on your chest, but made of Lego bricks. And some people use printed bricks. Some people do brick built name tags. Some people have a shit ton of decoration on their brick badges. So yeah, whatever you want to put on there, you can put on there. Personally, I don't have one, like I said, so I'm not the person to ask for the best brick badge designs. But yeah, just look up. I think you'll find lots of inspiration online. Hi Agent Breaks, welcome in. The rocks for sure, and the angles and everything. I need to improve on my angles in mocks. Angles. Alright, I'll see if I can put some in there. Yeah, noted. Noted. We'll see what I can do. Talking about me and saying my stuff is micro, that's... I'm sorry, Ori. I'm sorry. Yeah, I wish that would have been a good rockwork tutorial back when I started my thing. I'm not sure I've seen your thingy in question. But yeah, I'll see to put some rocks in the breakdown video. As soon as things settle down over here, my Gothic mock is gonna receive a heck of a rework. Okay, Mike, I'm looking forward to that. The great thing is you can customize it with all kinds of builds. I'm assuming you're talking about the brick batch, in which case, yes, you can do that. Alright, folks. Anything that you have on your mind? Anything you're cooking? Anything you're working on? If not, we'll move on to checking out some past Gothic contributions. We'll have a look at the groups, reminisce a bit about the convention, and about the Gothic project as a whole. Which leads us into the question from Ore right there. How was the reception of the Gothic builds at the convention? The unfortunate answer is it was so crowded up around, you know, the area that the Gothic stuff was displayed at, that I spent very, very little time actually being around the Gothic display. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to meet a whole lot of visitors. But in terms of the fellow exhibitors, there was a whole lot of kind words about the Gothic project. So yeah, you could say reception was pretty good. Yeah, Mikey says I could barely get up there. It was tight. It wasn't well, it wasn't an ideal space to display a project like that. Having the table be in a different place would have been, well, it might have been preferable. I certainly voted for it. Definitely one of the highlights. Thank you. Thank you. A lot of the Rogue Bricks folks actually told me that they were expecting to see my model in the mock voting top 3. But alas, it didn't make it. But I appreciate the vote. Damn, at least it's cool to hear that so many people are into seeing Lego mocks. Yes! I think I mentioned in the beginning of the stream we had almost 10,000 visitors that weekend. Including exhibitors that would take that number over 10,000. So, yeah, it's been crazy. It's been crazy. But, you know, like you said, good to see. And I hope I inspired some people, or everyone inspired some people to get into Lego as well. The lighting up there was not optimal, but I think it was actually fitting for the mood of the Gothic collab. Yeah, I can see what you mean. I think the whole environment wasn't ideal, because it was like a yellowish stone wall behind it, and then the light was already pretty warm, so the entire lighting situation was pretty yellow, which, yeah, I would have preferred more neutral light. Which a plain white wall might have already done. Because I have a plain white wall here and a fairly yellowish light as well, so yeah, it looks nicer than it did on display at Breaking Bavaria. But yeah, it is what it is. Alright, let me set up a quick screen scene. Actually, let me make a new window here. And we'll check out Flickr, and I will make a new scene called, oh, whatever. Stream YouTube. Alright, I might have done an oopsie there. The video source didn't have a sound. We'll go over there, check that out. Right, this should work. I'm just gonna full screen that thing. There we go. Well, you're gonna have to live with the little bar at the bottom from the camera feed. That's got to do now. All right. I think I have to repeat my response to Ori. Quite a strange question. Are there opportunities for LEGO builders to get from, let's say, professional personnel that goes into the convention? My response to that was there was a LEGO PR person, community relations person at Brick in Bavaria that you could talk to. There's like I don't know, like an hour or two on one of the exhibitor days, I think. There were people from the LEGO Masters TV show that you could talk to, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that was it, actually. So I'm not quite sure what kind of opportunities you're talking about, because the biggest opportunity at any convention is just the networking, getting in touch with fellow builders, and opportunities might come just from talking to those people. And networking in itself, I think, is a big opportunity. Good morning, Gavin. All right, Boba Bricks asked if I send a work in progress in the workshop, can I get live feedback? And my response to that was, just in case, for those who just tuned in, my audio was disabled, so I have to respond to some questions again. I said we might do that after we checked out some of the former Gothic builds, because I want to have a look at those and reminisce about them a little bit. So we'll do that first, and then we can do some feedback shenanigans. All right, Bobo and Ori have a deal. Ben took back his message, but I think it said something about Gothic Mansion Builder here. So welcome in, Ben. Where'd Jacob go? Yes, sorry. I mean, sound outage. All right. I may not be able to talk to chat because Flickr is full screen. I might be able to open the chat on my phone though. Let me check that out. All right, Gothic Mistlands, folks. Let's have a look at Gothic Mistlands. Actually, fun fact, the Gothic chapter that had the most submissions, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, it went downhill from there. But we had Gus, I think. We had Arthur, if I'm not mistaken. Pixu, Liam, Oshi, and myself. And that was a fun time. That was honestly a fun time. In case you're not aware of the background story of the Gothic project, I did start that one in 2022 after building this thing for the Summer Jazz 2022. And I wasn't able to make it in time because I was working on Atlas, which, in case you aren't aware, is my science fiction project that created some of my personal favorite shots that I've built on Lego. So yeah, I was occupied with that. I couldn't build for the Summer Jazz, but I did like what I had. And, I parted that out, took it apart, and then the cross-ribbed Gothic vault was supposed to be part of that Summer Jazz submission as well. So the picture you just saw and this vault were supposed to be part of the same build. that wasn't going to happen, so I powered that out, and then in October, I think, I decided to just say, hey, I'm going to build some Gothic stuff. If you want to build along, feel free to build along. And that's how Gothic Mistlands happened. And that was this build. I hate the new Flickr layout with the odd zoom. We can't really zoom in anymore, which sucks, unfortunately. Can you even see that shit? Yeah, you can. Okay, that's close enough. But yeah, good times, good times. Let me have a look at chat real quick. I wish I could upload my very late build to Mistlands. I'm sorry, Oren. Yeah. And frankly, my Gothic Mistlands build is the only Gothic build that I was able to actually build 360. You know, it has detail all around the sides. And you could view it from every side and it would look good from every side. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that for the following Gothic builds. Let's take another look at, come on. Back into the group, please. There we go. Let's take a look at Oshi's stuff. That was a pretty neat one too, frankly. Nougat dark orange, medium nougat dark orange, dark tan color scheme. The tree is a bit flat, but I did tell him that back in the day. But nonetheless, all in all, it got the vibe across, and I was happy to have people willing for it. So this was a good one. I do like the windows. Gravestones, obviously. The lighting actually from the left side does give a bit of a sunrise, sunset vibe, whatever you want it to be. A fence with the Harry Potter wands, with the sprue still attached. Sorry, with the sprue still attached. Nice lantern stand. Good shit. Good shit. Liam's was actually quite a surprise, to be honest. Very nice vibe, actually. Little astronomy tower-ish. Observatory. I think that's a better word. Very nice build too. I love the window and technique on this one. Simple but beautiful. I agree. And the description on the right is pure water. No one's going to read that like on Insta. Yeah, I agree. I prefer the description on the bottom. We're talking about Flickr, obviously. So yeah, nice vibe here. Nice vibe here from Liam. Pixu builds, you know, just a little landscape segment. A little cross on there, some pumpkins. Nothing particularly Gothic about it, but it certainly did get the fall vibe across, which is nice. And a little Gandalf monk figure up there. Interesting rock work. And sand green olive. Dark orange nougat, medium nougat color combo. Looks good. It's slightly overexposed here at the top, so you can't quite make out the colors, but good shit anyways. Arthur with a little abandoned church ruin kind of mock. Bit more simple than some of the others, but we all started somewhere, and this is certainly a pretty decent start, to be honest. Some weathering in the ground. Some of the olive 3-leaf stems that everybody got on the pick-a-brick wall in quantities beyond their need. Oh, fuck off. Come on, Flickr. There we go. Getting hiccups there. And then lastly, but certainly not least, the old gate by Gus, aka Fabrics. This just hit the nail on the head, dude. The vibe is impeccable. It's got some late Gothic elements, I want to call them. Very nice. Very nice. This is one I really like. Not to say I like the others less. I appreciate every single submission. Right, next up. Sorry. Come on. Groups. Twilight. Second installment. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 people building for that one. And Ori is among them. Shout out. Gothic Gate is amazing, I agree. It's lovely. Tom Stutt's Cathedral Slice was one that I want to say this sparked the idea of, oh, there's the zoom, look at that. That's pretty decent. This may or may not have inspired me subconsciously to build a cathedral this year. I really like the use of the mirror piece here. I don't know if it's a real mirror or a Lego piece, but it certainly sells the effect. Like, you know, mirroring the benches to the other side, making the whole interior seem larger than it is. Color scheme lovely, weathering lovely. Definitely fits the vibe. Really nice. Clément, who goes by Reverend Bricks on Discord and other platforms, with this very nice submission. A little plain at the bottom here, I reckon, but technically pretty advanced. Nice trees. We've got some rogues on the roof, while some guards are patrolling on the ground. The facade is pretty plain, but it just works. It kind of just works. The windows are pretty nice. Got the slide pillars coming out of the wall there. It works. Oh, and off we go to the Greenmire Gate. Yeah, I don't think I have to say much about this. Still pretty proud of this one, surprisingly. Usually I'm the kind of person that builds stuff and then it's completed and then I take it apart and I say, well, that was cool, but I can do better. But Greenmire Gate, honestly, that one holds up. That holds up. Obviously, the nice immersive shot here. There's a bunch more on my profile, and Ori's little bookend. That was a very neat one too. I edited the pictures for this one. Little tree extensions at the top here. That was something that I added. But yeah, very nice build. You know, hits the nail on the head in terms of vibe too. Beautiful autumn colors. I mean, it gets boring, or you know, you might think it gets boring to have all the same color leaves throughout all the 3 years, but I love the look. I love the look, to be honest. Yeah, that was Gothic Twilight already. Not quite as many folks participated in that one as Mistlands, but still more than in Nocturnal. Actually, that's a lie. Nocturnal had some late submissions. Kit was delayed. He had some personal stuff going on, so he wasn't able to post in time. So I allowed him to post later. But so we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 folks. Actually, Nocturnal is, by the measure of submissions, the most successful Gothic project chapter, if you will. Alright, let me take a look at chat. Can I take part in such events if I only build digitally? I have a small space problem. Absolutely you can. Ori did all of his builds digitally first as well, and Ori then bought the pieces to build the models physically, but you can totally also submit a digital build. That's absolutely no problem. I love the clean look. Not sure which model that was on. Can't read chat while I look at Flickr, unfortunately. Oh, the one with the mirror? I didn't realize that was part of your Gothic collab too. I'm not sure if it was a surprise submission or if it was planned to be a Gothic submission all along, but it was certainly a very nice addition to the project. I love this build, but honestly I would have wished it had the triangular plates for the checkerboard floor. Yeah, I can see what you mean. I can see what you mean. That might have looked nice. Love the simple groundwork here. So, any ideas why people see the bookend as Lord of the Rings Gates of Moria build? Um, Interesting. Let me have another look at that. Uh, well, I've only seen the movies. I haven't read the description in the book, so I can't really tell you why people think this gives them Gates of Moria vibes. I mean, I guess it's kind of because of the decorations over the arch. You know, where the elvish magic imprint thingy, when Frodo says, or Gandalf says, Medlon, starts glowing. You know, that might remind them of it. But other than that, I don't see why people would think that's a Lord of the Rings build. But God knows, God knows. Don't hooks. I stand corrected, Ori, I stand corrected. Disclaimer, my build is pretty much still a work in progress in this picture rushed to the last minute before takeoff. And the picture was taken at the event, yeah. Absolutely no worries, Mikey. I mean the mark that inspired you to build a Kateria. Yeah, I see it exactly. That was a good one. That was a good one. Right, next up, Nocturnal. Let's start with Ori's here because that's one that I found very nice interpretation actually. I think I don't want to say most of Ori's stuff, but this one was certainly inspired by, you know, kind of Eastern European Castlevania type folklore stuff, and you know, that considered, I think it's perfect. It's perfect. It just gives that. Yeah, the vibe. It hits the nail on the head. I've said this a couple of times now, but some of these models just perfectly capture what they're trying to capture, and this is one of them. Very nice. The only grab, of course, is that the bridge doesn't connect, but that's a minor thing. All in all, yeah, very nice vibe with the, what is that, 8x8 run plate in the back. Really nice effect. Really nice effect. There's Ben's build that was displayed at Bricking Bavaria too. Very fragile. It not only looks fragile, it is fragile. I did see that during setup, or rather, yeah, I think it was setup. Jana, so do you have a background in architecture? What did spark your interest in these building styles? My parents and my grandfather are all architects. Sorry. But really, what sparked my interest in these building styles, particularly the Gothic style, is that we go to France quite often, and we have gone to France for a pretty long time. And France has a shit ton of cathedrals. And I don't know if it's nostalgia or if it's actually still like a current thing. Cathedrals, especially Gothic cathedrals, everything that has vertical scale and is somewhat historical. Like, you know, I couldn't care less about skyscrapers, but Gothic cathedrals are just, they trigger something in me, and it's just super inspiring. I love that style. It's impressive. It does something to my head that I cannot quite explain, but it's, yeah, I really like that style. So personally, I don't have a background in architecture, but yeah, I think it's more of a. I've seen a lot of them, and well, talking about cathedrals, I've seen a lot of cathedrals, been to a lot of them, seen them from the inside, hung around them, and it's just something that stuck with me, something that I like quite a lot. Courage gets magically into the castle there. I mean, fair point. Fair point. Totally didn't bump into the table twice during setup and made Ben's roof fall off. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I might have bumped into a cathedral once or twice. Into the table once or twice, and that knocked some of some parts off of Ben's build. But I put them back on her, I don't think he noticed. Hayashi builds. Well, the build isn't relevant, but, well, it is. But, not to your name. Welcome in. And welcome, Isaiah. Top 3 cathedrals. A good question. Good question. Let me do some thinking. That's a difficult one. I think Beauvais, despite being, well, very much stabilized in a very modern way, with modern steel struts and stuff to keep the whole thing standing, is an incredibly impressive thing to behold. So Beauvais Cathedral would be one of my favorites, simply for the sheer scale, which captures that, I don't want to say sentiment, but that inherent drive of the Gothic period to go bigger and better and taller and more ornate, and all that. It just captures that perfectly, and I think it still is to this day the cathedral with the tallest tallest nave. Top 3 cathedrals, yes. I mean, that's one way to put it. And I think after Beauvais, I'd have to go with one of the classics, Chartres or Reims. Maybe also Amiens. That's one that, but it's really difficult. And you can see I've mostly been to the north of France. So I'm not super familiar with any other southern cathedrals. But considering I based my Gothic build this year off of the Cathedral of Clermont-Ferrand, that's something I did look at. And of course the Cathedral of Cologne, the Dome of Cologne. That is just peak Gothic. How could I forget? And it's actually quite close by. So yeah, I would say top 3 cathedrals, Beauvais, for the sheer scale and the awe-inspiring height once you enter that thing. Then one of the classics, Chartres, possibly Amiens, just because I've been there a lot. And no, actually, 2 would be the Dome of Cologne, and then one of the classics. But yeah, that was a lot of words to reply to that question. We used to visit a bunch of castles with my family back in the day, so building those is my favorite thing. Yeah, I guess it's just something that inspires us during childhood, and then once we grow older, that's just something that we keep coming back to. Might be. But yeah, castles are cool too. I've been to very, very, I don't want to say very few, but I've been to fewer castles than I should have been to in my life. I should visit some castles in the future. Are there any ones you can recommend in terms of castles worth visiting? Something about very detailed windows and small intricate exterior stuff in stone just makes my brain happy. I can feel that. I can feel that, Mikey. Yeah. I'm thinking of building the Cathedral of Canfolids, the Pillars of the Earth, the game. I'm familiar with the book, not with the game. I didn't know that was a game, but I did read the book when I was a kid. Pillars of the Earth and what's the second one called? Gates of the World or something? Not familiar with the English title, unfortunately. But I did read of those books. So, yeah, if there's visual reference from an official game or something, absolutely go for it. I'd love to see that. All of them. I reckon that's referring to castles to visit, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll have to check some out. I've never visited one despite living within driving distance of Windsor and Arundel. Are you serious, Oshi? You live in England? And you've never been to Castle or Cathedral? If I understand correctly. Sad I'm American. Well, you gotta come to Europe, Isaiah. You gotta come to Europe, visit some stuff in England, visit some stuff in France, and yeah, there's certainly some good shit worth seeing over here, on the other side of the pond. I can't believe Strasbourg Cathedral wasn't mentioned. I've only been to Strasbourg once, actually. I don't actually remember. I'm sure I've been to the cathedral, but I don't have a picture in my head of that now. Oh, Ben says no problem. One of the roofs out was last minute and not really connected. But Brick in Bavaria was a lot of fun. Thanks for the very nice goodie. The chainmail minifix looks so good. I'm glad to hear that. Glad you like it. Den Robin is a very, very nice castle. Thank you, Gavin. I would assume that's over in Britain. I want to go over to Britain eventually. I've been there in 2010, I think. And never since. So definitely have to go again at some point in my life. Scotland, yeah. Yeah, that's just a place I want to visit. You know, Iceland and Scotland are two places, just in terms of landscape, that I want to visit eventually. I just like the sheer, you know, barren highlands are just something that I really like as well. I'll try to make time to look at some of the more historic places in Manchester when Bricktastic comes around. Sweet. I think Manchester has some stuff worth seeing too. After my latest trip to Italy, I love some Italian Gothic mistlands. I love Italian Gothic mistlands. The Italian Gothic is out of this world. I've only been to northern Italy once, so I can't comment. At least not on personal experience. But that's something I'll have to take a look at. All right, let's keep looking at some builds. Otherwise, we're just stuck here on this frame doing nothing. So yeah, Ben's build. Kudos in chat. Let's have a look at Agent Bricks. Agent Bricks is in chat here occasionally as well, no? I might have just opened Gimba on accident. The barren highlands here in Iceland are sadly the result of mass deforestation, but yeah, very, very pretty. Yeah, I agree. Which German castles have you visited? I couldn't tell you, honestly. I don't remember their names. Mostly because most of the castles in Germany that I've visited, I've, you know, just visited while, you know, for an hour or two while I was on the road somewhere else, visiting family and stuff. So, yeah, I've been to a couple of castles, but I don't remember the names. And I didn't take a thorough look at them. Agent Bricks with a little vignette for Gothic. Sorry. Dude, what's up with my voice? With my brain lagging behind, not being able to pronounce shit properly. Anyways, back to the nocturnal models. Pictured is Agent Bricks' submission. Little broken down pillar, complete pillar here, guard. No, somewhat. Has no description, no title, nothing. Just I guess, a little entrance, gateway, checkpoint, whatever. Certainly does capture the vibe, the fall vibe. We've got Mickey's build with the improvised roof. I expect to see some revisions on that build in the future, because Mickey does want to work on it some more. But, you know, for what it's worth, it was already looking pretty decent at Brick in Bavaria. We've got this little submission from Joel, who actually wasn't aware of the of the Gothic project until someone, I don't remember who, mentioned it to them, and they asked me about it. And he said sure, and we just put that in there. Little mausoleum, very nice build. And then Kit's submission, which was unfortunately late and wasn't able to go to Brick in Bavaria, but that would have been That would have been nice to see in person. Look at that shit. Just look at it. That is very nice. Yeah, it would have been cool to see that at Brick in Bavaria. In person. Taking a closer look at all the details. But good shit. Good shit. And of course my Moonshed Cathedral. Which I'm sure you've seen at this point. Yeah. Yeah, at this point I think I should say thank you to all of the people that have contributed to this project over the years. Because just going back through this, looking at it, starting with Mistlands, those were good times, man. Those were good times. Seeing all of these builds come together in the Discord, posting my own work in progress pictures there, receiving feedback, giving feedback. Good fun. Good fun, man. Yeah, that was a little look back on all the Gothic chapters on the Gothic project as a whole. Yeah, I think we can confidently call that a success. That whole project. Let me turn off that window. Good stuff. Stayed at it for like 10 minutes just taking in the techniques when I saw that for the first time. Yeah, I can see what you mean. There's just so much to look at, you know? And it's on the edge, but it doesn't feel crowded. It doesn't feel... Yeah, it works. You know, it's very, very dense, but it works. And that's a fine line to walk, and Kid did that pretty well. My comment on the AI build, was my comment on the AI build that bad? Honestly, I mean, I probably wouldn't have taken it the way that Kid did, and some of the others did. But some people are just, and myself included, I'm not particularly fond of AI being used for image generation in the context of, you know, doing things that people spend a lot of their time on creating by hand, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I can see some people interpreting that as an insult when you say that picture looks like AI, but yeah. I mean, I don't think you meant to hurt his feelings, so yeah. Well, it's not gonna end from it. If I wasn't so stuck in my own project, I would love to add a collab. I would love to add to a collab one day. Well, you'll have a chance again next fall. I've already got plans. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. So if you're in the Discord, you'll certainly be aware of it whenever that happens. It's probably going to be, depending on if I go to Brick in Bavaria next year, which is in a different location. So I'm not sure I'm going to go to that. But if I do, it's going to be the same as this year, like the deadline for the project, August to November. But otherwise, it's going to be October, December again. But we'll see. We'll see. Didn't know you had a Discord. It's should be linked in the description of the live stream, so feel free to check that out. Did somebody say plans? Yes. Yes. I do indeed have plans. Milo is here. Hello. Fella that I spent a lot of time with working on New Hashima at Brick in Bavaria. Good fun, good fun. Glad you're here. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Feel free to stick around for a while. Are you planning on building anything for Brixcalibur? Considering Brixcalibur and when I... Well, it all depends on whether I'm able to take this model apart in time for the Brixcalibur deadline, which at this point in time, I'm not sure I'm going to be going to be able to do. Hi LMF Bricks, welcome in. Hi Chad, lots of familiar names. Yes, and it's good to see some people from the community hang out here, have a good time. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna build something for Brixcalibur currently. It's not looking like it though. So that's that. All right, and we did have some. Who was it? I don't quite recall. Bobo Bricks. Is Bobo Bricks still here? Say hi, Bobo Bricks. Oh, there he is. You're going to Bricktastic? No. Waffles tried to convince me to come to Bricktastic because the sign up for Bricktastic ended, or well, closed. Was it Friday? The exhibitor day of Brick in Bavaria, but yeah, I couldn't confidently commit to going to another con that shortly after having been to Brick in Bavaria, so I didn't sign up, no. I assume you don't plan to make it to Bricktastic, Jacob? No. Like I said, a lot of the timing, yep. Bobo, let's have a look at your build. Oh, the Tatooine-esque build. Ori has already given some feedback, I think. Dude, I've gotten rusty when it comes to giving feedback. You know, a couple of years ago, during the Rona, when we all had way too much time on our hands, I would write essays of feedback on builds. I haven't done that in a long time. Let me switch that to Discord. Enable that. There we go. You should see your thing there. Let's have a look. Does that come across on the stream? It should, yes. Lovely. Whatever happened to the Jakob Kaiser paragraph? Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure, dude. I'm not sure. Took you guys an account switch to recognize me. Yeah, I guess. LMF Bricks certainly gives away a slight hint, but you know, there's a JK Bricks on YouTube that isn't me. I think there was also a JK Productions or something. So, you know, if it doesn't say your name or the name that I know you under, then I'm not going to assume it's you. Let's get to Boba Bricks. Don't want to do too much to the roof, as final pick will be quite low, but anything else? Stuff to change? Add thoughts? Colored placeholders? I would expect those pieces to be switched out, yeah. Ground, could use some texture, I reckon. I am not sure about the tiles here on the side being dark tan, because the stuff under the tan is supposed to be dark tan, so I'd switch those tiles that are sitting on the dark tan for tan. These little greebles, they're not doing it for me. This one can stay, but I think you should change this one. If I'm seeing a bar connection there, that kind of ties it in, but this one's just there for some reason. It's down here as well. If it's supposed to be something, you know, some kind of utility greeble, then it might be worth making it look like something that actually does something. If you get what I mean. Not very good with words at this moment, but yeah, if it's just there for, whoops, sorry. If it's just there for the sake of it, I would try to rework it to tie it in a little, give it a purpose, you know what I mean? I think that's what I'm trying to say. You know, this one with a little connection there, let me open that in browser, zoom in real quick. Just confirm my eyes aren't tricking me. Yep, there is a connection. That kind of ties into the build, you know? But these two, I don't see their purpose, so I would try to rework them. Like I said, ground could use some texture, some footsteps, some dirt and grime around the bottom. If that fits the vibe that you're going for, obviously. But yeah, other than that, I think it's coming along well. I do like the integration of the little corner there. That's pretty cleanly done. With a quarter, is that a round plate or just plate? I don't know. But that corner transition is very nice. Some antennas, yeah, might be worth a shot. Evaporate is obviously like a staple of desert planets in Star Wars. Alright, and Snake is working on his cathedral. Oh, and Mikael, you found the Discord working on... Oh, that's looking good, dude. That's looking good. Very nice. Alright. Let's check out some comments. JK Brickworks, yes, that's another one. Also, wow, you're really on in many servers, Jacob. I do have them organized into folders, and there's a bunch in those folders. Like the mock folder has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17-ish servers in there. The custom minifigure folder has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then the folder of stuff that I don't check out a whole lot. That's got just a couple random servers that I'm in for some reason. But yeah, I'm in way fewer servers than other people. Did you finish that build you started at Bricking Bavaria, Bartu? I'm actually not sure what Bartu started building at Bricking Bavaria. I would be interested in seeing that. I guess I need a Jim Baggins YouTube account then. You might. You might need to do that. I mean, I was, you know, when I read Isaiah, because I think your Discord does have Isaiah in it in some servers, like your nickname. So you might be fine, is what I'm trying to say. In any case, it's just sitting somewhere until I organize my collection, and I'll also probably finish another build first once the sorting is out of the way. Keep us posted, Bartu, keep us posted. I shared a little whip in the Discord since you were checking out builds. A small part of my large project I've been working on for the last 2 years. 2 years? Jesus Christ. That is insane. Yeah, it's looking good, dude. Feel free to share your socials in the showcase channel. Post some of your stuff. I'd love to check it out. Mikey's gonna head out for the night. Cheers to you all. Cheers to you, Mikey. Have a good sleep. And happy Monday tomorrow. That's a fair number of servers, actually. Yeah, I guess it's relative. Gotta get up around 5 a.m. Oh, man. Okay. Bartu, Mikey works, I think. I'm pretty sure. But God knows. I'll let Mikey reply to that, if he's still here. Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean 5 a.m. that's brutal. I mean, some people can do it, you know, I couldn't. Alright. Sweet. Folks, will you keep any small Gothic vignette as a souvenir? No, I'm not going to do that. I'd love to elaborate some other time if I remember. It's a long story. No worries, Mikey, no worries. I think you'll get the opportunity to talk to Bartu in the future. Um. Right, anything else to talk about, folks? Kind of like the smooth texture. I like to build sand and snow similar and mostly studless. Yeah, fair. But I could add some footsteps using headlight bricks and yeah, try to rework the top here. Right, sounds good. But we'll keep us posted. Feel free to put some more work in progress pictures as you go. If you want feedback. If you don't want feedback, do say that. And just post them for the sake of it. Right, and Mikael is having fun in the workshop. I think you've seen my build actually. Let me guess. It is. Is it Altberg Castle? I'm just connecting Malt to Maltrug bricks or whatever the name is. Just Maltrug. Might be. That would be my guess. Yep. Okay. Was right on that one. I think the footsteps are a good shot. Yeah, might be worth. Thoughts on lights? By the way, I found some Christmas lights. If you're able to integrate them, absolutely. Lights certainly take a model to a different level. I personally always want feedback. That's a good approach, I reckon. Alright. Alright, folks. I'm running out of stuff to talk about, to be honest. So, feel free to chime in the chat. If there's any more questions that you might have, you know, once again, I may want to say this again. I'm planning a video on some technique breakdowns from all kinds of techniques that I've used throughout the Gothic project over the past 3 years. So if there's anything in particular of any of the builds that I've done for the Gothic project, and you want to see a breakdown of those, feel free to let me know, and I'll consider putting that in that Gothic breakdown video. Can you show the lighting situation more detail at the breakdown? I can do that. I can do that. That's going on the list, I reckon. Where do you find inspirations for a MOCs layout? Frankly, I just make it up as I go. I think that's the most authentic answer. Yeah. I rarely ever sketch out any layouts beforehand. Right, the Discord is buzzing, people. Get on there. Oh, Mika, that outside is looking pretty. Very nice. Good stuff. Alright, so far for the video, we've got rock work, we've got lighting. From my end, we've got arches and windows and walls. Layout, I don't think is something I can talk about because I don't plan a lot. I don't think about layout a lot. I just make it up, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I change it. So yeah, I think that's all I've got so far. But I think that's already enough content for a whole video. But if you've got more that you want to know, absolutely let me know, and I'll see what I can arrange. Thanks a lot, bro. You're most welcome, Michael. Oh, Mikael. Sorry. I just realized my summer jazz builds maybe could have worked for the Gothic collab, Jim Baggins says in the workshop Discord server. It would not have worked simply for the reason that it wasn't built during the Gothic collaboration. You know, in this... Oh, actually, no. Summer jazz ended August 1st, didn't it? And Gothic started August 3rd. So, yeah. It wouldn't have made it either way. But in terms of the vibe, yeah, I'm not sure if it fits the nocturnal theme, but it sure is a nice build. No question about that. Trees and foliage, very, very neat. All right, fellas. I think we're gonna call it here for today. Before I run out of stuff to talk about, even more than I already am. And yeah, it was out of the timeline either way. Right. I'm gonna see you again probably next weekend. I'm gonna try to stick to that routine of one video a weekend, and the other weekend we'll have a live stream. So that bi-weekly schedule thingy that we started with the Gothic build series, and we'll see what kind of content I'm able to put out in the future, considering now we haven't got a big project to work on. Thank you for the awesome 3 years. I mean, Ori, you're most welcome, and thank you for being in the workshop and sharing your thoughts and your own builds as we go. Good night, everyone. Good night, Zigzag. Have a good one. All right, folks. Once again, if you are watching this stream after the fact, because the video on demand is going to be available on my channel and probably going to pop up in your subscription box. If there's any questions you might have after the fact, feel free to put them in the comments and I'll reply to them, or if it's something that I can put in a video, I'll see to put it in a video. And to everyone who's been here with me today, currently only 11 viewers remaining, but the peak was 19 viewers today, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. The Europeans are probably heading to bed and the Americans might have some hours left in their day, so have a good one, folks. Thank you for the stream. Thanks for sticking around, for the lovely interactions, and I will see you guys next weekend.